Many wondered what would happen to the Darwin Symphony Orchestra when its maestro Martin Jarvis stepped down from the helm after 20 years. Leif Sundstrup has travelled halfway around the world from the Middle East to take up the baton. Phoebe Stewart reports.
And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and... Every rehearsal's inspiring for me. I should be inspiring them, but it's just, wow.
Leif's got an underlying glint of madness. I think you've got to be slightly mad, I think, to stand up there and have, you know, to be the focus of attention for 70-odd people.
Okay, this section from E, we need to have so much clarity at the articulation of every note. One, di-am, di-am.
Leif Sundstrup has been at the helm of the Darwin Symphony for just a few months, and he's enthusiastic about working with the community-based orchestra.
We have doctors, lawyers, engineers, everything you can think of in the orchestra, and or I can imagine, unless they want to marry someone in the orchestra, that they're there because they like the music.
I think we're all slightly crazy conductors, actually, yes. Somebody once said the definition of a megalomaniac was someone who thought he was a conductor.
Again, 1, 2, 3, and...
Born in Papua New Guinea when his father was stationed there with the Air Force, Leif Sundstrup started playing the tuba at 13 years old. He went on to perform with the Tasmanian Symphony Orchestra.
A lot of my work in the past has been with professional orchestras. They're not renowned for being easy to get along with, or we forget that they're not just doing it because they love music, they're doing it as a job.
Leif Sundstrup's most recent job was in the Middle East as the resident conductor of the Royal Oman Symphony Orchestra.
It's like the last court orchestra that exists in the world, and it's a private orchestra of Sultan Qaboos. So the orchestra did a lot of performances when he'd have presidents or prime ministers or kings over to his palaces. 2 of his palaces have maybe up there in the top 10 concert halls in the world, and during a private dinner the orchestra would play background music.
2 years into his royal stint in the Omani capital Muscat, a harpist teaching players in the orchestra caught Leif Sundstrup's eye. They've been married 3 years.
They say Muscat's the gem of Oman. I mean, I thought, well, Vanessa is actually and I've stolen the gem.
Well, I certainly didn't think I'd be leaving France, moving to Oman and then moving on to Australia. That certainly wasn't in there. Come on in. Welcome to our boxes that have just arrived from Oman, and we're just unpacking. So sorry for the mess.
Moving from Oman to Darwin has been an immense task. The couple and their 2 children are still unpacking boxes of treasures from the Middle East.
Our kunja, which is the national dress, or they wear a national dress in Oman for the Omanis with their dishtashes, and we've got our lovely bed. Have a look, check out these paintings. This is a painting from Bondachenko. She was a friend of one of the Omani broadcasters. Look at that, isn't that stunning? Don't know what that is. That's the Royal Oman Symphony Orchestra.
There we are.
But now that I've joined the Darwin Symphony Orchestra, that's just a memory. Let's move on.
The arrival of a new artistic director marks the start of a new era for the Darwin Symphony Orchestra. Leif Sundstrup has all the credentials to develop the orchestra.
His background is terrific, really. Not only did he conduct in Tasmania and I think most of the ABC orchestras, but he was also the associate at Melbourne and Sydney. So he's got a lot of experience as a conductor.
Leif Sundstrup has big shoes to fill. For 2 decades, his predecessor Martin Jarvis led the DSO to performances at spectacular locations, including an ambitious concert at Catherine Gorge.
Standing on the small boat in front of the pontoons at Catherine Gorge as we finished that concert would have to have been one of the most extraordinary moments of anyone's career in anything at all. I mean, it was the musical equivalent of landing on the moon.
Leif Sundstrup wants to build on the work done by Martin Jarvis by injecting more diversity into the DSO's performances.
Well, he rides motorbikes and is a composer and has a completely different view of music to me.
I want to have a rock series where we do funk, rock and roll, heavy metal, anything we can think of, and people, if they want to hear what a whole violin section sounds under a distorted guitar pedal, it's much more wicked than a guitar.
There were no distortion pedals at the orchestra's first concert this dry season, but pushing the limits of the orchestra's popular appeal could be the ticket to an extended performance.
My contract's 3 years, but the media release says Martin Jarvis, that they say Leif's going to do the next 20 years. So I'm going to see if I can take that to a lawyer if in fact they don't want me after 3, because I want to hang around.
Phoebe Stewart reporting there.